Let me ask you this because you brought it up. And I know you probably don't watch because it's trendy and popular.
Mr. Belvedere.
Did you see? Have you seen the Mandalorian episode with Lizzo?
Absolutely
I
not.
just watched that the other day. I was going to bring that up. Yeah, Lizzo's
I know
in
Brad
Star Wars.
doesn't. Yeah, because it's cool. He's the cool kid that doesn't watch anything that everyone else is watching. So
I have not spent. Taka knows this about me. I have not spent 1 second with like Star Trek and Star Wars. I just can't do it.
I know.
It's not for me.
Part of why I brought it up is so you have to say that out loud.
I'm not being cool, kid.
Yes,
I'm just
it
saying.
is.
Like,
Yes, it is.
No,
It's 100% you being cool, kid. What'd you think, Taco?
I don't do well with
talk about
space stuff. I don't do well with space stuff and fantasy things. I'm sorry.
Well, then let me talk about space stuff.
I would love for you to.
Lizzo was in there. She was a guest. Okay, she was a guest with Jack Black.
Jack Black.
They played like a king and queen. And Lizzo, I love Lizzo. She's not the most experienced actor. She was kind of like, looked like she was reading her lines, kind of off screen.
I love Mandalorian. I thought it was a little, it's a cartoony show, 100%, but I thought it was a little too cartoony. But I did want to ask about it because, and
then they shoved Christopher Lloyd in there out of nowhere. You're like, okay. So in one episode, they've got Lizzo, Christopher Lloyd, and Jack Black all guest starring.
Yeah.
These minor bit roles.
What is Jack Black doing on this show?
He was playing.
He was the admiral.
He was like
king or admiral.
King. I think he was a king of a planet, and he and Lizzo were in love, so they were the king and queen.
Well, that's how you know it's realistic.
Yes, just like in real life.
Yeah.
Lizzo's our queen, Jack Black is our king. It was like a detective episode. It was almost like watching an episode of CSI Miami or something, because it was like there's a mystery and they got to go talk to people and solve the mystery, and then it was almost Scooby-Doo-ish. I don't know if I should spoil it, but like the end.
Did somebody's mask get ripped off at the end?
Yeah, if it weren't for these dreadful kids.
Yeah.
If it weren't for these awful kids, we would have.
Interesting. I had no idea.
It's very interesting. That's why I brought it up.
It was a fun little episode, yeah.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. You're right. Christopher Lloyd, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yep.
Christopher Lloyd, was he any sort of like... by the way, I'm excited about talk about Christopher Lloyd because it allows me to talk about Back to the Future ever. It's my favorite movie of all time. They're about to do a Back to the Future play on Broadway here, and every now and then I keep getting pictures of random Christopher Lloyd sightings in the city, and every time it's just like crazy old man walks down street. It looks like the weirdest like in the wild Christopher Lloyd moment that you can find. God, I love him.
Yeah. See, that's so funny. That's a zeitgeist thing. I've heard a lot of people your age that love Back to the Future. I liked it. It's not that movie for me. So, but that's an age thing. It's good.
Yeah.
I love it. And honestly, the story of how it was made is just as fascinating as the movie, really.
Yeah. When you realize that it was like they did half the movie without what's his name, and they did a whole nother movie without him, and then they had to start it all over again when they fired the first actor.
Yeah. Eric Stoltz was
Eric
the
Stoltz,
first Marty,
that's right.
And they shot like 60 to 80% of it with Eric Stoltz, and then they said, this isn't working.
And then watching some of those clips back,
watching
some of those clips back, you're like, you're right. This doesn't work. This sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. No, so
that
would the Mandalorian thing would have gone right past me, but I'm glad we covered it in such fine fashion here on the What Podcast. Really glad we dug deep.
That's where people come to talk Lizzo and Star Wars franchises.
Yeah. Tune in next week. We'll talk about Battlestar Galactica.
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Plazio suffered greatly under imperial rule. My husband came here as part of his rehabilitation. He fell in love.
Oh, he fell in love. He did fall in love.